welcome. This recording is designed to help you rest and to gently support your mind and body as you recover from a relationship where someone else's reality was placed over your own. You don't have to do anything right now. You don't have to follow every word. Your unconscious mind already knows how to listen in whatever way is useful for you. Let yourself get comfortable. Now you might be bed, lights low, nothing left to check on your phone. And whenever you're ready, you can let your eyes close. Or you can let them stay soft and unfocused. Whichever your body prefers. As you settle in, there's no need to try to relax. Sometimes trying is the very thing that gets in the way. So instead, you might just let your body be exactly as heavy or as light as it already is right now. Notice the surface underneath you, the mattress or the pillow, taking your weight. You don't have to change anything about your breathing. Your unconscious mind is already breathing by itself, the way it always has. Even on nights when your mind was busy defending itself or replaying a conversation or trying to work out what was real and what wasn't. Now, none of that needs solving, because your unconscious mind, the deeper part of you, underneath all the noise, has never actually lost track of what's true. It's been keeping you safe this whole time, even when it was hard to hear. So as you continue to breathe, at whatever pace feels natural, you might become aware of the small muscles around your eyes. And often, when those muscles let go, just slightly, the rest of the body seems to take that as a kind of permission. A permission to soften. There's no hurry. With each breath out, you may find some part of you drifting a little further from the day. Not away from yourself, toward yourself. If anything, drifting down and in, the way a person settles into a chair they know well. And some people notice a heaviness in the shoulders first. Others notice it in the jaw or in the hands. It doesn't really matter where. Your unconscious mind will find its own way of showing you to let go. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 10 down to 1. You don't have to do anything with the numbers. They're just there, like stairs, just there. Whether or not anyone's paying attention to them. As I count, you might imagine or simply sense you are moving down an old stone staircase, perfectly safe. The stairs are nice and wide. There's a handrail. Outdoor, maybe, at dusk, drifting down toward a wall with a gate in it. Doesn't matter if you can picture it clearly. Some people see it. Some people just get a feeling of it. And both are fine. There's no right or wrong way to do this. In settling down one step at a time. 9, each number taking you a little further from thinking and a little deeper into simply being. 8, the air around you cooling slightly, the way evening air does. And 7, no need to hurry down these steps. They'll be there whether you rush or not. And 6, halfway now. As a person starts to enter a state of trance, a state in which positive change can occur, they can start to notice that tiny muscles and tendons in their arms and legs begin to twitch a little. And 5, you might notice the gates up ahead. Maybe an old wooden gate, maybe an old iron gate. Whatever your mind gives you. And 4, and 3, almost there now. 2, one more step. 1, and you can find yourself standing at that gate. Beyond that gate is a garden. It's been there a long time, longer than you might expect. And like a lot of gardens that haven't been tended for in a while, parts of it are overgrown. There might be brambles along the path, ivy over the wall. Some of the beds are barely visible under weeds that grew fast because nobody was watching them grow. This garden belongs to you. It always has. It was yours before anyone else had an opinion about it. Now, for a while, someone else was standing in this garden with you, telling you what was really growing here and what wasn't, telling you the roses were weeds and the weeds were roses, telling you your own eyes were wrong, that your own memory couldn't be trusted, that the version of events belonging to them was simply the version. And that's a strange thing to live with. And it leaves a mark. Not on the garden itself, on how much you trust your own sense of what's real when you're standing in it. Here's the thing your unconscious mind already knows. Even if the rest of you is still catching up. The garden was never actually damaged by what they said about it. Words don't uproot things. They just made it harder for you to look at what was already there, and harder for you to leave your own eyes. So now, relax. There's no rush to fix anything. You're simply going to walk through the gate and start noticing. Just noticing. Your own noticing. Without anyone else's voice laid over the top. And you may find, as you do that some quiet part of you already remembers exactly which plants were always yours underneath all of that overgrowth. You step through the gate now onto a path made of old flat stone. Some may be cracked, and that's all right. Cracked stones still hold weight. As you walk, you notice a bed of brambles off to your left. You don't need to clear it all. You might just crouch down gently, without forcing anything. Pull back a little of the growth. The way you'd move a curtain aside to see what's behind it. And underneath you find a single plant still alive. Maybe it's small, maybe it looks like it's been surviving rather than growing. And that's fine. Surviving is what it needed to do for a while. You might find yourself recognizing this plant, and some part of you might realize it represents something true about you, something that got called into question. Your instincts, maybe, or your voice, simply your right to have a reaction to something that hurts. Whatever it is, you don't need to name it. Your unconscious mind already knows what it's looking at, and you can notice without having to try. But just being seen again, just having the weeds pulled back for a moment is enough for this plant to lift itself slightly and move towards the light. And it doesn't need to be perfect about this. And it only needed you to come back and look. Further along the path, there's an old stone bench. You can sit there for a moment if you like. From that bench you can see the whole garden, all at once. Overgrown parts, clear parts, together. And you might notice something interesting. Even the overgrown sections were just waiting for someone who belonged there to come back and look properly. As you sit, you might become aware of a second gate, far end of the garden, the one that leads to the rest of your life. The people you trust now, the version of you that's still becoming. That gate isn't locked. It never was, it just was hard to see through, all to grow. And here's something you can simply let settle without needing to think about it. The person who told you your garden was wrong, not the one who gets to decide what grows here. They never actually had that authority. They only had the volume of their voice, and volume was never the same thing as truth. For these last moments in the garden, you might just walk it slowly, one more time, and brushing along the tops of the plant. You're starting to recognize again, not clearing everything, not needing to, just walking and noticing, and letting your own eyes report back to you what's actually there. From now on, whenever you find yourself doubting something, you clearly saw or clearly felt or clearly remember. And part of you can quietly picture this garden just for a second. You don't have to explain it to anyone. You don't even have to consciously remember doing it. Your unconscious mind can simply offer you that image, the gate, the path, the plants lifting toward the light, as a kind of quiet reminder. This is my garden. I know what grows here. Each time you return to it, even briefly, even in passing, you may find it's a little more tended than the time before. Not because you forced it, but because you kept coming back. And now, there's nothing left to do. You can leave the garden exactly as it is. Gate closed gently behind you. Everything in it safe until you return. Your unconscious mind will keep tending what needs tending in its own time, at its own pace, all through the night. And allow these words to become quieter now and further away, the way a voice does when someone is falling asleep in the next room. It doesn't matter if you hear the rest of this or not. Your unconscious mind and your body already knows what to do from here. You're allowed to rest in a garden that's finally only yours. And the more you listen to this recording, the more you'll notice its positive effect